everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is September the 7th at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I want to also welcome you to the show. Let's see. All the housekeeping. I want to let you know we're over in the chat room, and you can find it by heading over to katie-weaver.com. No, where am I? You can find it by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. How's that? Right on. It is a private group, so if you haven't entered it before, you will want to ask for entry. But Scott, my gifted and talented producer, is standing by and he'd gladly let you into the room. So you'll see my banner at the top of the page, and that's where we are chatting. However, I am also live streaming this event, and you can find that by heading over to YouTube or Facebook and look for Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic, and you'll find the live stream there. So you may want to be in the live stream today because we are going to be reading cards from all my colleagues. It's that show, which is a ton of fun. So we are going to be reading from Angela Hartfield's Gratitude Oracle today. Of course, Mo Tarot, Connecting to the Universe with Keisha Angel, Sweary Spirituality 1 and 2 from Kelly McLean. Let me try and get a black card out here to show you. Yes. My deck, the Ground Bless, Protect, and Move deck. And Christy's deck. So I'll be reading from all of them. So a little later in the show, when you guys ask your questions, I will decide what deck is right for you, or maybe what couple of decks are right for you, and we will pull from them. So that's the show we're doing today. But of course, we'll do all of our regular stuff first. I want to say hi to Renee, Maureen, Brooke, Sid, Tiffany. Good to see everybody's happy faces this morning. How are you guys doing? How did you do with that new moon? It has been very sleepless for me. So I'm hoping that it gets better because I'm worn out. Who likes not sleeping, right? Not this guy. Anyway, I do hope that that everybody's, well, I don't know, sleeping better than me, to be honest. But oh, hello to Kylie. Kylie has grandma. We're sure thinking about her. I try and check in every so often, but life. Okay, I want you guys to know before we get any deeper in the show that we have a scheduling change that I want to be sure you're aware of. So you might know that last week was Robert's last show, and I have a brand new neighbor. So Lisa Gonzalez, sounds like Lisa, is going to be after me now. So she'll be live today, right after my show, and you guys will get to have us both now on Tuesdays. And it's fun because she live streams too. So I kind of love that she's my neighbor up in here. So hopefully you can hang out and listen to Lisa after me. Hello to Jacqueline and to Jane. Good to see you guys. Maureen said the new moon's making her sleep number bed go crazy. Yeah. Jane said, what is this sleep thing you speak of? You know, we had the weirdest, our poor little Chihuahua, Rico. I don't know what the hell, but he got into something yesterday morning. I thought that he probably bit a bug. Hey, Alishaya. Oh, and Denise. Good to see you guys all here. My little dear Chihuahua, my little brown Chihuahua, Rico. Yesterday morning, he woke up. Oh, and hello to Laurie. He woke up with like a really swollen face. And I don't know. I'm not sure if he got into something or what happened. It was just pretty random, you know. This has happened to him one other time, and he had bit a bug, like eating a spider in my bed. But anyway, so I gave him some Benadryl because that's the deal when that happens. And then he was good. And then last night it looked like his eyebrows were raised up, of all things. I just thought his eyebrows looked really weird. And so I didn't give him any medicine because I didn't really feel like it was like that serious, you know. But then after we'd been in bed for, I don't know, maybe an hour, he just got so rowdy, itching and couldn't hold still. And he kept like climbing up and laying on top of me and making me scratch him, which isn't like him at night at all. And so I start scratching his back and realized that he's like covered in little welts. So we got up, we took Benadryl again. Then I stayed up for another hour with him. There's his little swollen up face. Oh, poor guy. Yeah, and then he settled in, and you could see that the Benadryl was doing its work because his eyes were starting to really droop and he was looking really tired. And then he settled in and he was okay. But I don't know, poor guy. I'm not really sure what he got into. I mean, obviously he got bit by something, but anyway, my poor kid. He's handsome no matter what, but yeah, poor little guy. Jane, when is Mark coming off his puppy paternity leave? I don't know. I hope soon. I hope so. I know he was discussing it just a couple of weeks ago, so hopefully soon. Yeah. Oh, yikes. Brooks had a huge migraine. Yeah. I've been swollen. Like all my joints have been swollen and for no reason, totally unearned. Uh, sometimes it's earned. I get it. Sometimes I have overdone myself or definitely eaten something I shouldn't, but out of the blue, swollen up joints. And I talked to my daughter that lives in Boise and she said that she felt the same way. So I went, this is the thing. Got it. Yeah. Okay, Kylie says Terry's doing well. She hasn't heard much from her, but she'll try calling her soon. Well, good. Kylie, make sure that you tell her that we all love her and we're thinking about her and that we miss her around here. Yeah. All righty. Well, let's see. Tara, I will definitely pull a card for you. No worries. So it's officially September, and I know fall doesn't actually start until the end of the month, but I don't care. I am drinking pumpkin spice tea. I am slowly getting my Halloween and fall decorations out every day. I am an empty nester now because we took Mars to college last week, which mostly just means that I just have my kids on the phone all day rather than in person. Hey, Deb. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so now I have to do everything myself. I know. That's so crazy. You don't think about, at least I didn't, what, what stuff, that you rely on other people to do. And it's making me laugh that I have to do stuff that I normally, like right now, we're going to go camping over the weekend and I'm just hauling everything out to the camper, doing all the big stuff. Not that Scott's not helping me, of course he is, but I I was thinking about how dependent I've gotten on kids to do, the grunt work. I hate to say it, but it's true. But also driving. I don't really like to drive. I can drive. I'm a good driver. Like it's not that I'm scary or anything. I just don't usually choose to drive. And so if one of my kids is home, I will always put them behind the wheel. And if Scott's in the car, that's how we stay married is he drives. Because he is not a fan of anyone else's driving but his own. Anyway, but it's made me laugh because I have to drive myself places. Today, I have to go to a doctor's appointment. Guess who has to drive themselves? What the hell, you guys? I might need another kid. I don't know. I kid. We're adjusting. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Kat and Sheila. Okay. Alrighty, well, let's get into some of our regular stuff so that we can pull cards and things. I also have some grounding work. No, maybe I should have. Some, some sacral chakra work for us today. I feel like this energy that we're embarking on with this new moon feels really creative. So I wanted to see what we can do to help really draw that forward for everybody. I think that we're also kind of in a place right now where people are just so tired as light workers, or as ascended people or empaths or whatever you want to call yourself. I think we are so tired of our current world that we would really just like to take a big step back and do something else for a while. I think it's what we should do. And so, as this creative energy really comes to the surface, I'm hoping that everybody can really get to a place where you have something that you're working on. Yeah. Hey, Terry. Renee, hello. She said just adopt another kid. There you go. Right? Like, why not? I think the dogs would not forgive me. Mars's dog, she's kind of our biggest focus right now because she and Mars have been inseparable since this dog was born, and she's 10 years old now. This is our Basset Corgi mix, Little Blue. I showed you guys a picture of her last week wearing her traveling uniform, which, by the way, worked really, really well. And yeah, she was so good. She was so good. She'd never been in a hotel before, and she was so good in the hotel. She traveled really, really nicely. I was very proud of her. And the traveling uniform worked out just fine. She was really good in it. It didn't seem to, be a problem for her. So, but she's really missing Mars. She is my little shadow. Everywhere I go, she's under my feet. I start to walk and she'll literally just plant herself in front of me and not let me take another step because she just wants a little more attention. So she's currently sleeping right next to my feet while I do my show because that's what she does. But she's really getting a lot of attention right now because she needs it. Darn it. Poor baby. Yeah, that's big detachment for her. Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a peek at Luminous. As you know, Luminous is the magazine that I publish every week with my friends. I was going to say with my sisters, partly with Christy and with others. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room. If you want to go find it, you can just head over to katie-weaver.com and click on the Luminous magazine link. It's already been posted, by the way. It's already been emailed out to the whole list and been posted on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. So if you can't find it, there's something wrong with you. No, I'm kidding. Kind of, right? All right. I'm going to share my screen here. Mostly, I'm just a big show off that I have this technology so I can do this. Okay. Awesome. Let's see. How does that look in StreamYard? That looks pretty good. I'm going to try and blow it up a little bit. We'll see if I can do this without going crazy. Probably too much. Yeah, too much. Sorry, guys. I think that'll work. Okay. All right. So I did a fall cover this week because I decided as soon as we step into September, it's going to be all fall all the time, and I'm completely, unapologetic. So there you go. I loved this. It has all this pink in it. Really pretty leafy fall colors. All righty. I called the magazine this week the Watch and Learn edition because it just feels to me like we're a little bit quiet this week. We're a little introverted. We're kind of, just tuning into ourselves and just paying attention to the world around us, not so much being a main player. So here we are, just watching and learning, and that's all we have to do. Now, if you're feeling compelled to do something, particularly getting creative, go for it. But if you're feeling like just taking a step back and, just letting the world ruminate for a minute, that's very much the energy of this week for most people. Okay. I shared the spoon theory in my musings. Christy and I did a show over at True Crime Paranormal on the Psychic Hour a couple of weeks ago about chronic pain. And we were talking about the spoon theory, and I've talked about it a little bit on this show too, but I decided to share it and talk to you guys a little bit more about it today because I feel like this is something that may help you understand your health a little bit better. It might help you work on your own stuff, take better care of yourself. So, the spoon theory is for people who have a chronic illness and or chronic pain or depression and anxiety. They all kind of, get to be in the same basket here. The idea of the spoon theory is that you wake up in the morning with a certain amount of spoons, and that certainly depends on how you sleep. The going theory is that you basically wake up with about 12 spoons to spend for the day, and when they're gone, unless perhaps you take a nap or a rest or do something to replenish yourself. So, and they a lot of the spoon theory sites they apply a certain amount of spoons to certain activities. For example, one spoon to get out of bed, one spoon to get dressed, two spoons to take a shower, to manage meds, make dinner, three spoons to go to the doctor, walk a pet, socialize, four spoons to go grocery shopping, go to school, go to work. My opinion on that is that spoons that depends on who you are, right? Some people might find that it takes a lot of spoons to do certain things, and others they're actually really good with. So I think that's very individualized. But the idea behind the spoon theory is that you only have so much to give without great personal expense. If your spoons are gone, you've done everything you can today, and then you still have to go to back to school night or some other event, or you still think that you now need to clean your house top to bottom or whatever, uh you maybe can't, or maybe you need to take a step back or say no, or find a way to get some rest before you dive into those things. But being gentle with yourself, being realistic about how much energy you actually have to spend, how much your body's really willing to give, is a really important part of self care. We have been conditioned to just keep going. We've been conditioned that our suffering doesn't matter and that we just have to get tougher. You just got to get through it, right? You've just got to do it. And you know what? It's not fair and it's not really true. You should not have to suffer all the time. And maybe you already are because you have chronic pain. But we have to get ourselves out of this mindset that you just have to keep going and going and going, you know, no matter what. It's just so painful. It's so unfair. And I think that for anyone who is, experiencing some chronic stuff, it's a really important thing to remember that you do have the right and the responsibility to yourself to pay attention to your spoons. And when you're out, it's okay to say so. I say that to my family. I'll say, I don't have any spoons left to give. Sorry, can't do it. Sometimes that just means waiting in the car while someone else runs into the store, you know? Our local state fair is going on right now. And I wouldn't go anyway because of COVID, because COVID is getting really bad around here. Uh, but I don't usually go because it costs too many spoons. You have to park a long ways away. You've got to walk all the way, walking all the way in and then wandering around dealing with the, multitude of people. There is nowhere to rest or sit down. I just don't ever have the spoons for it. And my father-in-law and mother-in-law were over yesterday and said that they had gone, and I thought, wow, I that's awesome that they felt up to it. I just don't have the spoons for that anymore. And then I realized I don't even miss it. That's an activity that I don't care that I can't do because it's just too freaking much for me. But anyway, that's the spoon theory in short. So you guys can tweak that to however it works for you according to your own health and your own needs, but it's something to think about. It's also something to share with people in your life that might not really understand what your limitations are or what your situation is, that you can say this is a good way to look at what the amount of energy I really have to give. All right, bitch scopes coming up. So it's a little bit quieter this week, Miss Kelly says. We'll take it. Let's read somebody's scope. How about who's somebody we never read? How about Aquarius? Focus on yourself this week and what you like about yourself. It has likely been a while since you just sat down and thought or wrote about your strengths and weaknesses. Except F that weakness list, just do the strengths. We all know what our flaws are, but what do you feel makes you a badass, amazing, beautiful human? Resist the urge this week to rush, be in a hurry, or be impulsive. Pump the brakes and give yourself some love. Ooh, Aquarius. Those are pretty good marching orders for you guys. I love it. So be sure that you read your scope here in Luminous. You can also find scopes over at when2listen.com, and you can find them on Kelly's blog as well. Okay. My tip this week are all of the magical properties of pumpkin spice. What is it about pumpkin spice that makes people love it so much? Now, I know. Some of you guys don't, and I don't get it, but I try not to criticize. She says as she drinks her pumpkin spice tea. That is actually so good. Just so you know. Okay. So let's talk about it. The magical properties of pumpkin spice. Cinnamon is all about clairvoyance, consecration, divination, energy, good luck, love, money, passion, peace, prosperity, protection, psychic development, and success. People put cinnamon in their like spell bags and spell jars and stuff like that a lot to add heat, to add fire to something, to, give it the oomph that it needs. Nutmeg, prosperity, good luck, psychic awareness, fortune, clairvoyance, divination, justice, and meditation, not mediation. uh, a lot of people see nutmeg as a true psychic oil. I know people that will put 1 drop of nutmeg on their third eye when they're doing certain work, or diffuse nutmeg. Be a little tiny bit careful with nutmeg. There was a trend years ago to grate whole nutmeg and smoke it as a way to get high. Don't ever do that. You will be the sickest you've ever been in your life. It's not worth it. It's super unhealthy and stupid. However, nutmeg, it has amazing properties for all this work. Nutmeg has always been a comfort spice to me. When I was a kid, my mom would make us this tea that she called Sparky tea, and it wasn't tea at all. It was warm milk that she'd put a little bit of sugar and a little bit of butter and some nutmeg in and stir it up, and she'd give us that when we went to bed at night when we wanted it or needed it. But she called it Sparky tea, and I asked her once why it was called Sparky tea, and she said that's what her grandma called it and gave it to her when she was little. So that's what it was. No idea why. But because of that, I think nutmeg is a very special herb to me. Or spice. It reminds me of my mom. It reminds me of Sparky tea. I love to diffuse nutmeg. Pardon me. Okay, allspice. Money, luck, healing, compassion, determination, energy, fertility, gain, love, renewal, and an aphrodisiac. So who can go wrong with allspice? Cloves, protection, banishing hostile and negative forces, and gaining what is sought. So cloves can also, in a spell bag or a spell jar, can help you to get what you want. But also, a lot of people do use cloves for banishing and for protection. You think about the, I can't remember what they're called. Somebody will know. The oranges or tangerines that they would take and poke full of cloves. Do you know what I'm talking about? I know what they're called. It'll show up. I've ordered it in my brain, right? So, Pomodoro. Is that what they're called? Something like that. Anyway, that was for protection. Taking the globe and poking all of the cloves into it was for protection. All right, Ginger enhances magical work for protection from negative influences. So as you can see, these spices are all pretty magical and they all are pretty amazing for magical purposes. So why wouldn't we love them in our tea, our coffee, our Cheerios, our laundry detergent, whatever? Laundry detergent. I made that up. But it wouldn't surprise me. Totally. Okay. So now you know. All righty. Let's talk about Melissa's Magic Monday message. My life's way is through art. That's her postcard this week. Isn't that gorgeous? And indeed, she's a very gifted artist and author. So go, Melissa. All righty. A little bit about true crime paranormal this week. Because I was gone last week, Rhonda actually came on and did the psychic hour with Christy. So if you have been jonesing for a dose of Rhonda, you guys haven't had her on the radio for years, go over to True Crime Paranormal and find the psychic hour from last week. They talked about empathic overload, and it was awesome. People were so excited. I kept telling our listeners, you guys are going to adore Rhonda. And of course they did. But they also recorded our first show this week, because I was gone and then Christy was gone and, logistics. So they did a Bigfoot show because I don't know if you guys know this, but Rhonda is a huge Bigfoot fan and, Bigfoot encyclopedia, if you will. And so, do we have those anymore? I don't know. Did you guys have like the Encyclopedia Britannica that your mom would buy one at a time? We had like 3 of them. I don't even know what letters we had. That wasn't enough. It wasn't a whole set. But, and somehow those books always smelled bad. They always had a musty, weird smell. I don't know if yours did. Ours did. Anyway, so go and watch the Bigfoot Fact or Fiction show and you'll get more of Christy and Rhonda together, which is so fun. And then our show that we broke last night, I will tell you extremely briefly about. We have had, pardon me, a funeral home here locally that was taken down last week in a big investigation because they are improperly handling bodies. And that's all I'm going to say on this show because you didn't come here to be horrified. But if you want to be horrified, go watch that. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, that's what we have. But we actually have something really fun, a new thing that we're doing at True Crime Paranormal. So you probably already know that Christy and I have Spirit School over there, right? So Spirit School is, pardon me, the only way you can take classes from us currently. And you go over to YouTube to our page, which is True Crime Paranormal, and you just go to the membership link. And now there's 2 different options. So Spirit School members get everything. But there's one other thing that you can sign up for, even if you don't want Spirit School. But let me tell you what Spirit School is. Spirit School is a 3-class-a-month program with us. And so you get 1 meditation and 2 classes a month if you sign up for Spirit School. And Spirit School is $14.99 a month. It's super cheap. But that's how to do that. But what if you don't want Spirit School, but you do want our other offering I'm about to tell you about? Well, you can do it either way, actually. So one of the things that we are offering, and this is so much fun, is we're doing a true crime cold read party. So once a month, the second Tuesday of the month, you can come to the cold read party, bring your cases and throw them at us with a little information, and we will cold read them on the air. One of our our episodes that people love the most are the cold reads, where one of us picks a case that we know the other of us doesn't know anything about and lays out the bones of it, and then we cold read, give it a psychic reading. So, this is a way to bring any cases that you've been thinking about or wondering about, or even from your own life, to us, and we'll read it in the room. So, again, just go to True Crime Paranormal on YouTube, click the membership link, and all the info's there on how to join that. And I think that's like $5 a month or 5.99 or something. It's super cheap. So, anyway, that's some fun stuff over at True Crime Paranormal that I wanted you to know about. All right. Well, let's see. Anita brings us Archangel Raphael this week. He, of course, is the healing angel. Seems like we need it for lots of reasons. So be sure that you check out her write up about Archangel Raphael and how to connect to him. And then, of course, Jamie Dawn has a brand new Celestial Wisdom this week as well. I don't know if you guys have been watching Jamie's videos, but they are so beautifully done. And I mean, Jamie Dawn is she's a beautifully done human, isn't she? So anything she does is amazing. But definitely check that out with Jamie as well. So there you go. Brooke said people who run from pumpkin spice are just reacting to the banishing aspects of the spice combo. That is funny. I don't know why some people hate pumpkin spice. I don't understand it. I'm not judging. I just don't understand it. That is all. I have, however, learned to not drink it year round because then it's not special in the fall. Maybe it doesn't have to be, but Alicia, I said they had a set of Encyclopedia Britannicas, but then again, I'm 100 years old. No, you're not. Did they smell bad? Was it just us? I don't know what. Ours smelled like mildew. It was probably us. I think that the ones we had were actually hand-me-downs from some cousins. So that's probably why. Probably came from their dank basement or something. Gross. Okay. I know some people's moms got them with like their little food stampy things. You fill a book with all the little stamps from the grocery store, and then you get another encyclopedia. Yeah. Ooh, Kylie does not like pumpkin or cinnamon. Ooh, double whammy, Kylie. Life is so unfair. It's all right. We're not judging. We're not. I'm actually just sad. I actually hated pumpkin pie when I was a kid. Hated it. And then as an adult, I'm like, why did I hate pumpkin pie? It's awesome. I'm not sure what I didn't like about it. Maybe the texture? I don't know. Maybe it was just because there were other better pies to choose from. I'm not sure. But now I can roll with that. All right, let's do some singing bowl work. I wanted to do some creativity work or some sacral chakra work since that seems to be really coming up. So I am going to play the bowl 2 times. You guys know the drill by now, probably. Yeah. Oh, Mary said the S&H green stamps. Yes, yes, yes. My mom made me do those dumb books all the time. I hated the glue taste. Yeah. Do you want to hear a story about those? This is so off topic, but you probably do. I can't ever think about those without thinking about this story. You're going to regret this, maybe. When I was growing up, my best friend Emily, her mom Rita, was seriously one of the funniest people I have ever met to this day. Funny, funny lady. Everything she said was just kind of funny. And really dry, sarcastic humor. Love her. Still love her. And she told Emily and I this story one time about her best friend. So her best friend, Aline, went to the gynecologist. And she had waited for quite a while in the room. She was in the gown, ready for a pap smear. And she had gotten kind of nervous and freaked out. And she was sweating. And then she got all self-conscious about sweating. So she pulled a tissue out of her purse and kind of wiped herself up down there to make sure that she wasn't sweaty and weird and gross or whatever, all the worries that women have when they go to the gyno. So pretty soon the doctor finally comes in. She gets in the stirrups, and a couple minutes later he goes, "Huh, I see you collect green stamps," and pulled a green stamp out of her hoo ha. It was apparently stuck to the tissue. She, without meaning to, deposited it down there, and then the doctor found it. Oh no. I've always thought that was, we were like in junior high. So of course we were horrified by this story. And, because when you're in junior high, you still are so embarrassed by yourself that you don't know how to function. But anyway, I always think about that when I go, to such an appointment because, oh my gosh, that's awful. It's actually so funny. So she was actually a very funny lady too. So I think that she probably just laughed about it, but she was probably a bit humiliated there for a minute. So, you know, moral of the story, if you're going to the gynecologist and you decide to do something like that, make sure that whatever tissue you're using is just a tissue. I don't know. Awful. Poor Aline. Terrible. And here we are, that was what, probably 30 years ago. And we're still telling this story. She probably still is too. I wonder if she changed doctors after that. I might. Okay. All right. So the sacral chakra. Moving on. All right. I'm going to play the bowl 2 times. The first time I play it, I just want you to focus your energy there. This is the chakra that's right below your belly button. It is orange. And this is your place, your center of sexuality, of joy, and of creativity. So the first time I play the bowl, I just want you to hold space with me and with the bowl to allow the frequency of the singing bowl to just dissolve anything that you don't need to carry anymore. Any energy that's not yours, any psychic attacks, attachments, cords, connections, any blocks that you've built up, anything that isn't serving your highest and best good, let's let that go now. Okay, perfect. All righty. So now I'm going to chime the bowl again. This time, I would like you to allow the frequency of the singing bowl to pull the chakra out, open it up, brighten it up, and bring it into perfect balance. Alrighty. And there we go. That actually felt so good. Okay. Go ahead and let it stop. Okay. So there you go. Alrighty. Let's move on and pull some cards. Alishaya said that's the funniest thing she's heard in 3 months. She's so glad she's here. Well, sister, we are so glad you're here too. Yep. Yes, her encyclopedia smelled strange too. It was a thing. It was a thing. Okay. Tiffany said my neighbor was using a power saw outside from 9:18 to after 11, so I finally called a non-emergency line and reported a noise complaint, and the sheriff made him stop. In the past, when I asked him not to do this, he verbally accosted me, so I wasn't about to do it this time. No, good for you. Nope. That's if you've tried to go that route and things were hostile, you don't have to threaten your safety. No. But also, everyone has a right to have a reasonable expectation of noise. And after 10, especially after 11, the power saw outside, come on, man. Why should your neighbors have to put up with that? Well, word, they don't. Okay, let's see. Denise said, feeling up and down the last few weeks. Do you see a change with the fall equinox or any other time? Yeah, I just feel like you, Denise, you've had so much energetic draw from other people that need you right now that they are just, you're kind of at the end of a whip, getting flipped around. I do feel like it gets better over the winter, however. I do think the fall equinox and, kind of settling in and getting closer to the winter solstice, we do see that settle down for you, but I this really is that up and down that you're experiencing with everybody who needs you currently. But let's pull you a card. Let's pull a card from Keisha's deck, from the Connecting to the Universe deck. All right. Just asking, for some encouragement, what you need to know right now. You know, the ropes. All right. This is embrace your inner majesty. Just, I'm going to try that again. Embrace your inner majesty, the lion. Claim your power and take charge. Be the leader you were born to be. You are stronger than you think. That's a good message for you. I think beyond the message of, that you're stronger than you think, I think it is about taking charge of your energy, of your time, and making sure that your time is being respected, because I feel like part of what's happening here is your time is not being respected. And so you're kind of getting the runaround for multiple people, and it's enough, you know? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Alishaya could use a quick balance of energy. Yes, let's do a quick clearing here for you. She said she feels like she has thousands of arrows stuck in her body. Yeah, your aura is really heavy and thick. I feel like this is partly family stuff, but a lot of this is not yours at all. It's just that collective energy around you, like in your community, feels really, really volatile and angry, and you're really bearing the brunt of it. It's not about you at all, it's just where you've landed, so, or where it landed, in other words. So I'm going to pull all of that off of you. So one of the problems here is that you've been so thick and heavy that your aura can't really expand and breathe. So I'm sure you've been feeling a little bit like you're getting choked out. So really lifting that, cleaning up the energy about you, and through your aura here is going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to put a lot of good light around you, a lot of pink light, big, thick blanket of pink light for some nurturing and some comfort. But also, look at that expand now. So I put all this pink around you, but what's coming from you is all of this yellow. So all this pink and yellow light up around you. Oh, sister, that feels so much better. You should feel better. I hope. At least I hope it says, at least to start in the right direction. All right, Tara, let's see. I'm going to pull you an Angela Hartfield card. So this is from Angie's gratitude deck. Which happens to be way too big for my little hands, as is the case quite frequently. All right. Tara. Come on. There we go. The card is assessment. Interesting. I feel like for you, this is really, it is about an assessment of where you at, where do you want to put your energy, what's important to you and what isn't, where do you want your focus to really go. I feel like you've been a little bit scattered for a while and you feel like it's really time to kind of zip it back in, right? And find the things that you're passionate about and focus on those things. I could see you as taking a little business through a change, maybe doing some new things, some different things. Just creatively, you need some better outlets, some things to do. So the assessment really is, where are you spending your time and is it serving you? If you're spending a lot of time, getting lost on the internet, or a lot of time, I don't know. I'm not going to throw out too many examples because you know what I'm talking about. Time to reassess and maybe discipline yourself a little bit differently and make more space for doing things that really edify you. Yeah. Oh, it's good to see you, Sharon, very much. In the waiting room for a friend at the doctor's office. Well, I'm glad that you're here. That sounds, well, adequately boring. Actually, the people watching at doctor's offices is usually pretty priceless. Yeah. 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 Alrighty. Heading over to the other chat. All right, Mary, let's pull you a card. I'm going to go to the Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck for you. All righty. Okay. Stuck. Stagnant, waiting, frustration, avoiding the issue, undecided. The challenge is feeling stubborn, fighting the flow, and controlling. The crystal is quartz with anhydro. The meditation. I allow movement forward. I make my choice and move forward on my own. I think that applies to you, Mary. You're feeling a little stuck and maybe a little choiceless right now, and that you need a minute to catch your breath and decide how you move forward and how that looks for you. Big message coming up here from your friend that comes in really, frequently, to just let you know that you have to do things your way. Don't get too many outside opinions. Not like, just from, sorry, that came across a little bit wrong for her. She said not like medical opinions or professional opinions that you need. She said don't get too many opinions from other people who maybe don't quite understand your agenda. So there you go. All right, Kat. Okay, let's pull a card for you from. Actually, I want to go back to Angie's deck. We maybe just should have used this deck today. I'm just really drawn to it. So this is the gratitude deck from Angela Hartfield. So Kat, I think the question on your mind is how do you start moving forward and finding a new normal? Um, big message coming up before I even pull the cards about grounding for you, making sure that you're getting yourself by water, that you're getting outside, and I know that's going to be really different now without your walking buddy, but you need to make sure that you're getting grounded because you have had so much change in such a short amount of time. And that can trigger some real root chakra uh, instability that you really want to address so that it doesn't, just keep throwing you off. All right. The card is the perspective card. And I think, the perspective for you really is taking stock of where you're at right now in your life, where you see yourself going. I think right now is a really good time for you to practice some awesome gratitude and also to not feel like you have to do things alone. You've had to do things alone so much. And this is not one of those times. You do have support. You do have people that care about you. And you don't have to suffer in silence. So don't, right? All right, babe. I love you. I'm sorry you're having such a tough time. Okay. Brooke said, I've had no spoons for days. I'm resting, etc. What message am I missing? So I'm going to ground you really good. I feel like the natural disasters coming through your area have thrown your root chakra out of place. And because of that, you're having a hard time mustering your energy back up. It's scattered to the wind, right? So I'm going to grab your root here. Pull it back in and send it into the earth. In some ways, I think your body's just processing all of the trauma that came through your area. But I want to move that through you so that you can get on with the show, right? Maybe one day of that, but not multiple days of that. It's too much. All right. So, really grounding that root. That was a big problem, actually, Brooke. It was way away from you. So, this will help a lot. All right. And see, a lot of what you were processing through for the land or for the people around you was coming through your crown and didn't have anywhere to go because your root wasn't in balance. And yeah, this will make a big difference so that you can get your spoons back and come back to yourself. Good. All right. Let me know if we need to keep working that, but I feel like that will help. Kat, you are more than welcome, babe. You too, Mary. Okay, Jacqueline would love a card. Let's see. We have not pulled a Mo Tarot card. Let's do that. All right, Jacqueline. The card is the Empress. Empress. I feel like this is you in that I want this to be you. Let's say that differently. I want this to be you. I want you to start demanding something better from the people around you. I feel like you really need to raise up your high maintenance quotient just a little bit. You are the lowest maintenance lady around. You put up with whatever because you need to get on from point B A to point B. You put up with a lot because you can, you can handle it. But, this card really is telling me that this is a good time for you to raise up your expectations a little bit and demand a little bit better out of the people around you. Make them raise up, right? But it's also about just using your voice and speaking up about things that you want to change. They'll come into alignment. I promise. All right, you guys, we have done it. We have talked down to the end of the show. And I want to make sure that you know that sounds like Lisa is coming up next in her brand new time slot. So happy she's my new neighbor. So make sure that you stay tuned for her. Very quickly, Liliane, I pulled you a card uh, from Sweary Spirituality. It was the Bajiggity, a spirit word which describes an emotional or physical state of feeling ill at ease in your flesh suit. I know you have been. Laughter, an instant way to boost your vibration and cure bajiggitiness. So, as you are working on the housing situation, make sure you're having some fun too, that things aren't getting so heavy that it's all you can see. It's not a good way to solve a problem. Alrighty, very good. Yes, thank you so much. Mars is doing well at school. She's having fun. School officially starts tomorrow. Softball officially starts tomorrow. But she's already having a ton of fun with her team. All good things. All right, guys, I'm out. Don't forget, I am a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com. You can find me over there every single day doing readings, healings, animal communication, mediumship, whatever you need. I'll do my best to help you out. I'll be back next week. You've been listening to The Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.